Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And a surprise to me, before hopping into this offseason, we're going to look at some stats. So, NCAA passing leaders. Albert Vick actually finishes third in the NCAA in passing, so that's a good thing. Alex Brown finishes second. Almost gets 2K, only 47 yards off, so not bad. Ben Miller actually finishes in top 10 in receiving. He goes over 1,000 yards, 1,118 to be exact. Tackle leaders, we have the top three tacklers, and this is, man, all around great year. No wonder we won the national championship. Todd Williams leads the NCAA in sacks when it's all said and done. Ron Sands also is top 5 as well. And then interceptions, Jeter leads the NCAA, tied for the lead with interceptions. So we had a all around great year. I didn't think that Albert Vick had that many passing yards, but he definitely did. I mean, he got top 5. So let's just hop into this offseason now. So looking at some coaching changes here, our offensive coordinator actually moves to Duke to be their head coach. So I'm happy for him. He's got A+ prestige, so I'm happy to see him move on. And we lost our defensive coordinator. Let's look to see where he landed. He's down in the U's here. So let's look to see. Actually, I just passed him. Let's see. I just saw him. Let's keep going. Here he is. So West Virginia. So he takes the West Virginia head coaching job. So he was only here for 1 year and already bolts to take that at West Virginia head coaching job. So 2 changes already in our coaching staff. So maybe this might look different come next year. We'll see. So yeah, it is true. Alex Brown probably didn't have a high enough overall to declare for the draft, so he's still here. But we do have a couple of holes. Corey Lurch leaves. LaRue Wiley leaves at that backup linebacker position. McCray, he leaves on the outside. He didn't have a huge year, but Paul Miller's actually a big loss. He actually played a huge role, especially having that 97 speed on the back end of our defense and up in the box. So he leaves. Looks like Larson left as well. He was a senior, 76 overall. But those are probably the biggest departures so far. We also had Javon Pennington leave, and he's been here all 4 years pretty much. And his first 2 years were his best years. But let's move on. No transfers this year, so that's kind of disappointing, especially since we're still only we're probably a 4-star school now. But still, I mean, no transfers is kind of disappointing. But looking at recruiting, we are currently the 48th ranked school as far as recruiting goes. We have 11 commits, 2 4-stars, 7 3-stars, no 5-stars. So let's actually look at to see if there's any available. So looking at our recruits this season, we did actually have a better recruiting season than the rankings really tell us. John Cooper, a great athlete. He's going to be a corner, man coverage at 88, zone at 85, 88 speed as well. I think he's pretty good. I mean, he's going to be a good corner for us. Adam Nunez, outside linebacker, he's 78 overall. He's going to fit in nice with our defense. Sean Washington as well. He's got 80 speed, 94 excel, and he can get after the ball. He's got 87 pursuit as well, and he actually has all-around game as far as rushing the passer and stopping the run. So he is pretty good at coverage as well, 79 zone coverage. Looking at Ronnie Smith, he's kind of a developmental guy. He will likely get redshirted. He's only 66 overall. Doesn't do anything too great. He does have high hit power, but right now I think I'm looking at redshirt him. Patrick Tochi is another guy. Since Alex Brown returned, I'm probably likely going to redshirt this guy strictly because Alex Brown and Jimmy Ward are both graduating next season, so he'll likely get the red shirt. Jack Kleck, a tight end, he's actually going to get some playing time, I think, because I know that Ben Miller is going to be needing somebody to spell him because he does get tired really quickly. I don't know if his stamina is low, but he does get out the field quite a bit. Joshua Wesselman, another center here, 72 overall. He's got good run blocking and impact blocking, and good thing he's a center because he's only got 71 pass blocks, so hopefully he doesn't face a lot of D tackles that are good pass rushers. Alex Vogel, a tackle, likely going to get redshirted, and then Ethan Lecker, another kicker that we need to take the place of Adam Davis. So if you look at our board here, only 2 guys we really need at the top of our board, and that's going to be Travis Novak, a guard. He is pretty decent. He's got 82 pass block, 83 run block, 80 impact block, and Raymond McGraw, one of our custom recruits here. We do want him. Right now we're behind in him. We're 270 behind with him. but with Travis Novak, we are ahead. So we want to make sure we get these two. The other guys, we can probably live without. I can't lie. We can live without them. We don't have to put any points on them. We're ahead 3,000 with this guy, as well as this guy, and as well as this guy, pretty much. So we pretty much got them locked up. But two guys I did add to the board just now. No 5-star recruits that are available, but I did find some 4-star guys. An athlete. Let's just see exactly what his ratings look like, because if we scout him here and see what he's like. So 74 overall as an athlete. Let's see what he does well. So he has good play recognition, okay tackling. He actually has decent throw power. So he actually, throw power and throw accuracy, might be a quarterback kind of, but he has good play recognition. So I do kind of see him as kind of a linebacker as well. He's got 75 speed, so I don't see him playing any of the secondary positions, but he has good just good overall instincts with pursuit and play recognition, which leads me to believe he's going to be kind of a linebacker. He's got 75 zone, 76 man, only 75 speed. So I think he's going to be a linebacker on defense and probably a quarterback on offense. Another guy we did find, Corey Pendleton. He's 78 overall, but since we unlocked his ratings, he goes up to an 82. So this might be a guy that actually might be the replacement for Paul Miller. Look at his tackling and hit power. So this guy might be a beast. 88 hit power, and we haven't had many guys that have really forced a lot of fumbles. So let's move these guys up and put some points on them. So I kind of prioritize a little bit, and here's why. Travis Novak at guard, I don't really need a guard. He is great. Don't get me wrong. He's really, really good. He's going to be good in the future, good right now, actually. But I don't really need him, and our offensive line actually had a really good year last year. So the chances of me breaking up that chemistry is pretty small, and chemistry is a very, very important thing in this game. It's very underrated. I don't even know how it's calculated, if it's even an attribute, but it just seems like chemistry is there. Raymond McGraw, I'm going to put 4,000 on him. I want him because he's one of our custom recruits, and because I've kind of been doing this all year with him, so it's I kind of have to go to the end. And the last guy, Corey Pendleton, I'm gonna put 9,000 on him because he looks like a game changer. He can force fumbles, a guy that's gonna play up in the boxes as safety, as I have Vince Cohen in the roaming the secondary, and I like just what he brings to the table. He's got good jumping, good stamina, pretty good agility, good speed. I mean, as a safety, this is pretty good. I gotta admit, this is pretty good. So I can see him being a playmaker on defense, especially coming in at 82 overall. So let's see how it ends up if we get any of these guys. So it looks like our plan did not work out, but we did get the 2 and 3 recruits. We got Travis Novak, he's still committed, and Raymond McGraw, he committed to our team as well at middle linebacker, and then Yusuf Huffman, the speedy guy, receiver. Let's just look to see though, because this is confused. I'm kind of confused a little bit, because when we added them to the board, they had pretty much 17% locked, those last 2 guys, and I want to see who they committed to, because that really doesn't make sense to me. So look at Corey Pendleton. It looks like we were only in 7th, and it looks like he didn't even commit to anybody, I don't think, because look at the lead here. He still has a lead with Penn State, so what is he going to do? I don't understand. I guess those guys are just left out to dry. Do they just not commit? Because look at this guy, Roddy Cohen, he doesn't commit as well, and Roger Brown, I don't know what's going on with that. So let's look at the top classes. Let's see where we rank now if we moved up. So we actually moved down a little bit, 55 overall recruiting class, and we said we were going to make it kind of harder on us to recruit, because we already won the national championship in 4 seasons. It only took 4, so we wanted to make it harder on us in recruiting. So let's just advance a little bit and go to the next stage. So we are at the position changes stage, and only a few people are going to change positions. John Cooper, the athlete, the freshman, he's definitely going to go to corner. There's no doubt about that. Actually, let's look at his tackling skills real quick. Let's see if he can tackle. I don't remember if he could tackle or not. He's 59 tackling. I mean, he's okay. Let's look at our strong safeties though, because since we did lose Paul Miller, we did need to replace him. But remember, we have Dan Harris, the guy we redshirted last year. He's pretty good. I mean, 90 acceleration, 95 agility. He's got only 46 awareness, which does give me cause to pause. But if we look at his tackling skills, he's got 83 tackling, 76 hit power. Also, he's got play recognition at 71, man at 68, zone at 69. So he's not great in coverage. but I think it's just that he's just an all-around player. That's why he's kind of highly regarded right now, and he's a redshirt freshman, so he's got 4 years of eligibility coming his way. And also Scott Tyree, who did play once upon a time, but now he's not there. And looking at free safety, we do have Vince Cohen. Azad Earl is going into his senior season as well. But look at this at corner. We do have some holes here because Jeter, Waters, and Dunbar are definitely locked to play in the secondary. Then we have Macklin, but I actually liked what I saw from Jamel Jones. When he got in the game, he was good. He had, I think he had 2 picks on the season. No, he had that 1 pick, but when he was in the game, it seemed like his man was pretty much locked up, and he did get in when a lot of the guys were tired. So when a lot of teams run that no-huddle offense, that's when he was getting in. Robert Minnick, I think he's all right as well. He's only a sophomore, but Julius Macklin is kind of disappointing. I just think that when he got in the game, he wasn't really anything at all. So I'm actually going to move Cooper over to cornerback, and you know what? He's probably going to get redshirted his first year because right now he's got 3 guys ahead of him, and it's not looking good for him as far as starting this year. So I think I'm going to redshirt him. So another guy I do want to move positions is let's see, Ron Sands. I think he's a left outside linebacker. I think it's safe to say that. Simply because he did rush on the outside a lot, and that's where I had him lined up. So I think his natural position is left outside linebacker, getting after the quarterback. Dylan Mack actually had a decent year. If you look at what he did, had 4 sacks, a lower tackle rate though than his first year. So maybe he just had a down year, but I still have confidence in him going forward into his junior year. I don't really know what's going to happen at middle linebacker. Red Johnson is definitely going to be the number 1 starter. There's no question there, but who's going to be the second one? Is it going to be Ramey McGraw or is it going to be Casey Nunez? I don't know coming into this season. We did have a couple of freshmen here at left outside linebacker, Adam Nunez, and this is a guy that actually might compete for that middle linebacker position because we have an influx of left outside linebackers here. So maybe one of these guys can compete with the right outside linebacker with Dylan Mack, because I don't know if Dylan Mack is the immediate answer at right outside linebacker. He might get beat out, but right now I like what I see from Nunez. He's got 80 play recognition, 86 tackling, so I'm gonna move him over to right outside. I want to see what he can do at that position. And then Sean Washington, I'm actually gonna probably move him to middle linebacker. Maybe let's see our middle linebacker, because no, we're kind of young at that position as well. So I'm actually going to keep him here and then redshirt him. More than likely is probably going to be his redshirt season. So let's move on to training results. So looking at training results here, Albert Vick did improve a little bit, +4 in accuracy, only +1 in throw power. So maybe I was looking for him to progress a little bit more, but he did have an okay season. I'm looking for him to cut down on the turnovers. Alex Brown goes up to 91 overall, 98 speed, and you know what's funny is that Jimmy Ward actually has some speed too. He's got 93 speed, Chris McNeil behind him, 93 speed as well. So these guys are going to be pretty much beasts right now. I mean, there's no stopping them right now. Kevin Oliver is our highest rated receiver. He goes up +3. Jamel Cooley goes up +5. He's going to be a monster this year. I'm really looking for him to really take off. But look at Kevin Oliver. He's got 99 catching, 99 spectacular catching, 99 catching traffic, 96 route running. He is going to be an absolute animal, and I'm still going to keep him in the slot. I do still like him there. So really that battle for that second wide receiver position on the left side of the field is up for grabs. I mean, I don't know who it's going to be. We have Jackson Lindahl, who actually I was very, very impressed with. RJ Schultz is a big receiver, 6'3". He's got 86 catching. And also Marcus Sullivan, if you look at his stats, he's got 85 route running, 89 jumping, 89 catching traffic, and 83 spectac. So that's pretty good. Looking at tight end here, Christopher Rubright is a junior, but I think that Jack Kleck, I just like what he does. Christopher Rubright is a big guy, but I don't see any just flash with him. I don't see anything great about him. His attributes are going to be better than Jack Kleck's, but I like Jack Kleck coming in as a freshman, even though he's rated lower. And one guy that kind of reminds me of is Todd Williams. Todd Williams is probably one of our lowest rated defenders, but he is an All-American, first team All-American. He plays like he is. And I kind of like that. So just going through the line here, you can see how our offensive line improved. And look at this. Todd Williams is still only 79 overall. And he was an All-American. He doesn't have great attributes, but he just gets it done in the game. He's got 88 power moves, 85 block shed, 82 pursuit, and 76 play rec. So like I said, he's not the greatest guy. Even Hunter Greggs has better ratings than him. He's got 94 awareness, which I'm hoping he can just get off this year with this 97 finesse move. He's going to be a beast rushing the passer. Curtis Jones, a defensive tackle, he doesn't really get in a whole lot in the 3-4 packages. He really does, but in the 4-2-5, which I run pretty frequently because I like having that extra defender in the secondary out there, and we have some speed rushers out there. I kind of like that formation, getting after the passer, because that's when Ron Sands gets on the field as well. So looking at him, he improved +4. I don't think his spot is in any jeopardy of being taken, even at the expense of a higher overall player. Looking at middle linebacker, Red Johnson goes up +4, only 76 overall. This is what I'm talking about. These low 70 overall guys are still just producing for me, and they're doing really good. So that's Red Johnson there. Dylan Matt goes up +4. He's got to watch his spot. And Josh Dunbar goes up +6. He improves pretty well. Awareness at 99. Look at John Waters. Awareness at 99. Jeter, awareness at 93. I mean, these guys are just going to be beasts this year. I'm looking for Jamel Jones to come in as that number 4 corner more than likely. I think he's got that spot. I think he showed me enough last year. Look at his awareness. It's at 97, and that is, I mean, just great, because if he's at a 97 awareness right now, just imagine when he's a junior and senior, he's going to be 99 awareness. He's going to be locking people up. So I'm excited for him to play this year as well. And let's go over to free safety. Vince Cohen improves by +5. Azad Earl goes up by +4. And also Scott Tyree improves a little bit with Dan Harris. These two are going to be competing for the strong safety position. I don't know who's going to win it right now, but Dan Harris is the better tackler, but Scott Tyree is more of a hybrid safety. He can play linebacker, he can play safety. He's kind of a guy that can tackle and get after the ball, but he definitely has play recognition higher, and his zone coverage is about the same. So these two are actually going to be competing a little bit. Maybe Scott Tyree plays in his senior season more, but we'll see, because he is a veteran on this team. So let's just move into the next step. So I told you guys that there would be a slight surprise, and here's the move. I think you guys already knew I was gonna do this, but we are gonna move Marquette over to the SEC. We already accomplished the goal of winning a national championship, but now we're moving to the SEC. So I do want to make it so that we do play Alabama. I did set it up so that we can play them in the conference championship. So this is why I made it so that I'm in the other division. So looking at schedule type, let me see if I can change this here. It says no protected rivalries, but I do want a protected rivalry between us and Alabama. So I might have to actually add one more team. So let me see if I can just add probably Notre Dame. Notre Dame isn't even in a conference, but let me just see. So yeah, they're in there. So let's add Notre Dame. Okay, so I can't do that. So let's actually add another team back to the independents so that I can move them over. Who's a team that really is really bad? So I'm thinking just a bad team here to the independent. Let's see. Let's move Air Force back to the independent, and then now let's go to the SEC and add Notre Dame as well into the SEC, which is going to make it even more tough on that conference. What am I doing here? So click team to add, go to independent, and then add Notre Dame. So now I think I can have protected rivalries on. So here it goes. So protected rivalries, let's make it so that our protected rivalry is with Alabama, and let's go to Bama. So I got to change that around. So let's make Tennessee and let's make Tennessee. We'll just say Tennessee and Texas A&M for now, and then let's do MU and Alabama. So let's make that a protected rivalry. Let's actually make Notre Dame and Mizzou. I think that should be good. Vandy and Mississippi, Tennessee and TMU, South Carolina, Arkansas State, Georgia, Auburn, Florida, LSU. So I kind of like this right now. So right now, this is what it's going to look like as far as the SEC goes. So we are going to be in the opposite division as Alabama, but I do want to make sure I play them just in case, so that I do play them. At least we can play them once a year and maybe even twice a year because we're number 1 right now. I'm guessing after the preseason rankings come out, Alabama's going to be ranked higher than us, but I guess we'll see coming up. So let's advance here to the start of the preseason. So we're actually going to start this season out playing at Iowa State. And the reason why I want to do this, because remember, we were supposed to play them in the Big 12 championship, but they folded towards the end of the season. So I wanted a chance to play them. So we're going on the road and playing them. Then we're going to the Big House, Michigan. So we're going up against Harbaugh in the second game of the season. Then we're going at Auburn, at Georgia. So that is just a way to start up this season. But look at this. Then we go back home for our first game at home of the season versus none other than Nick Saban in Alabama. I'm looking forward to that one. Then we go and play Kentucky at home. So we start out 4 on the road, then we get 4 at home. Then we play Nebraska here as our last non-conference scheduled game. And then we go to Tennessee. Then we have a bye. Then we play Missouri, then South Carolina, then Vanderbilt to end the season. So maybe, you know what, I might actually open this up just to give us a bye week at about week 9 and maybe play a harder team. But nope, I can't do that. I could play our former coach here at West Virginia, but I want to play all ranked teams, so as many ranked teams as I can, just to make it more difficult, because we did win the national championship. So I want to make this schedule hard. So I think this is what I'm going to go with to start this season. But last but not least, let's look at the sliders, because last season we did make a tweak to the sliders before the season. I think we made a slight one during the season. But if you look at our user sliders, everything's low for user right now. I mean, we don't have anything great. Nothing that's really, giving us any type of advantage. But let's just move some stuff down. So let's actually move pass blocking down 1, wide receiver catching down, running back ability. Let's move that down to 15. So 15 for all of these. And then on defense, let's actually move some of this down. So pass coverage down to 20. Let's actually move that to 15. Let's move it to 15. So now it's really going to be tough on us. And then move tackling down to 20. And then on the computer side, we're going to move everything up at least a little bit. So running back ability, I'm going to put it at 100. I want a real challenge here. I'm going to move QB accuracy. I'm going to keep that the same, because it seems like the QB accuracy is just fine. And I don't want them to be like deadly accurate all the time and have like 1 incompletion a game. Let's put their pass blocking up 5. We did struggle to get to the quarterback at times, but we still had the leading sack leaders in the country. So I'm going to put that up to 65. I'm going to put the wide receiver catching up to 65. And then I'm going to put the running back ability up to 100. Run blocking, I'm going to put that to 75. I'm going to make that difficult. And then interceptions, I'm probably going to keep the same. They did a good job of picking off balls, and they did a good job in coverage. So I liked what I saw. And then tackling, I'm going to put it at 80. I'm going to put it at 80, which makes them better tacklers. I'm going to put the field goal accuracy back up to default here, because they did miss quite a few field goals, but I do want them to actually miss field goals when they should. I don't want them to be deadly accurate. So putting it down to 45 will definitely help. And then let's just keep everything else the same. So that's what it's going to look like. You know what? Let's put this up a tick. Let's put the QB accuracy up 55. We do want a challenge. Remember, we do want a challenge. So actually, you know what? Let's move this pass blocking up to 75 to match run blocking. So now that's up. Running back ability is up. So it should be more difficult. Definitely with playing a tough schedule as well. That should help. So stay tuned, man. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, because next episode you guys get to see the custom recruits who did make this season 5. So let's just get into it, man. Next episode. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. Let's go.